Imagine this. A sleepy secondary modern school in post-war Britain, a headmaster quietly planning his exit, and a band of mischievous students determined to stop him by any means necessary. Sounds like the setup for a heartfelt drama, right? Not quite. This is Carry On Teacher, the third film in Britain's beloved Carry On series, and arguably one of its most underrated gems.
Well, yes, I suppose there is that to it.
That would be a shame.
Released in 1959, Carry On Teacher may not get the same attention as the bawdier later entries in the franchise, but it's a delightful slice of comedy that perfectly captures a moment in time when British schools were formal, teachers were figures of both respect and ridicule.
Milton! Oh, don't do that. I just heard Haig and Dale plotting.
And childhood rebellion came with more pranks than peril.
What's the matter with Miss Alcott? She looks very distressed. Mr. Gregg!
So, what makes Carry On Teacher so special? Let's take a stroll down the corridors of Maudlin Street Secondary Modern and find out.
I've been here 20 years. 7 years as assistant headmaster and 1 term as acting headmaster.
At the heart of the story is Mr. William Wakefield, played with endearing weariness by Ted Ray.
What am I to tell her?
Wakefield has dedicated 20 years of his life to this school. He's not just the acting headmaster, he's practically part of the furniture.
Please don't stop, Mr. Adams.
But after spotting an ad for a new headship near his hometown,
A brand new school opens next term.
he quietly begins planning his departure.
They've advertised for a headmaster. If I could get that post, it could hardly be more perfect for me.
Now, here's where it gets fun. Unbeknownst to Wakefield, his loyal and often chaotic students catch wind of his plan. Robin Stevens, played by a young Richard O'Sullivan, overhears the teachers' meeting and spreads the word like wildfire.
Now, there's nothing more to tell you now, but just back us up at all times. Now, break it up, scatter.
The pupils love Wakefield. They don't want a new headmaster, especially not some stranger from out of town.
My grave is like to be my wedding bed.
Well, what's your question?
What's a wedding bed?
So, they hatch a plan, sabotage everything, and make the school look like a disaster zone during the upcoming inspection.
I'm not interested in a girl down your street.
Well, you're in a minority.
Yes, Carry On Teacher is essentially Mission Impossible, but set in a 1950s classroom.
All set, know what to do this break?
Operation War of Nerves.
Okay, now what's your timing? Scatter.
And the cast? It's a veritable roll call of Carry On legends.
Oh, just because I don't speak as much as some people do, it doesn't mean to say that I don't do.
You've got Kenneth Connor as the delightfully neurotic science teacher, Mr. Gregory Adams. Sweaty, stammering, and absolutely lovable.
I do anything in the world to help you, sir. You know knees.
Charles Hawtrey shows up as Mr. Michael Bean,
I'm not going to waste my time.
the music teacher whose slightly absent-minded charm borders on surreal. Kenneth Williams gives his usual eloquent flair
Now then, Stevens?
as English master, Mr. Milton.
Tut tut, such clumsy phrasing. Thank you, and good night.
And of course, Hattie Jakes brings her formidable presence to Miss Grace Short,
What are you doing here, Stevens?
Running an errand, miss.
the maths teacher who might be stern but always has a soft centre.
Oh, nonsense. It's because we've been firm. That's what's done it.
But perhaps the most unexpected character in the film is Miss Felicity Wheeler,
Do you favour the Swedish method?
the ministry inspector played by Rosalind Knight.
No, thank you.
She arrives with a clipboard and a sceptical eyebrow, ready to judge the school's every detail.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I startle you?
That is, until she meets Mr. Adams.
I always give the teachers an opportunity to question me on ministry policy.
And here's one of the film's sweetest subplots. Wakefield, desperate to win her approval, encourages Adams to charm her.
It's in there. Come on, man. Come on, Adams, there's a good chap.
At first, Adams is horrified. Woo a government inspector? Outrageous!
And that poor, frustrated woman in there. Show her a little response, a little tenderness, a little love.
But slowly and awkwardly, the two begin to form a genuine connection.
There's a button missing on your jacket and your hair wants cutting. You need looking after.
And in the end, what starts as a ploy blossoms into a surprisingly tender romance.
Marry me.
Meanwhile, Joan Sims shines as the gym mistress, Miss Sarah Alcock.
And to the left, 2, 3 to the right, 2, 3.
Catching the eye of Leslie Phillips's suave psychiatrist, Alistair Grigg, who's also part of the inspection team.
Have a long chat with you sometime.
What about?
Physical exercise.
There's a subtle flirtation between them that adds a playful spark to the film,
What are you doing here?
You were dreaming about me.
though the real laughs are still centred on the students' antics.
You'd better top it up.
From tampering with classroom experiments to staging ridiculous mishaps during lessons, the kids go all out to ruin any chance of a glowing report.
Not a prank all morning.
Well, trouble's over, back to normal.
They might be lulling us into a false sense of security.
And while their pranks escalate, you can't help but root for them.
You're drunk! Put your hands.
Miss Alcock.
They're not troublemakers, they're loyalists, fighting to keep the one teacher who truly cares.
Why didn't you explain before running away?
Well, miss, there's been so much bad behaviour just lately.
One standout scene features the prize-giving ceremony at the end of term.
You're getting overconfident. Nobody on watch.
The pupils, in full sabotage mode, are caught red-handed.
Itching powder? Again? You are repeating yourselves.
But their motive is finally revealed.
You will dismantle these amusing tricks at once.
They simply didn't want Mr. Wakefield to leave.
Thanks to Penelope's common sense in approaching me.
Don't listen to her, sir.
It's a moment of emotional clarity in an otherwise light-hearted romp.
These children discovered you were planning to leave. They don't want you to leave.
And it's surprisingly moving. Wakefield, visibly touched, decides to stay.
Have a good holiday. See you next term.
Cue applause, smiles, and probably a few misty eyes. The film was shot at Drayton Green School in West Ealing, London, a perfect setting for the story. It gave the movie an authentic backdrop. This setting helped ground the film's silliness in something believable, which is probably why it still resonates today.
Anyone can make gunpowder. You'll see.
I can't wait.
Interiors were filmed at Pinewood Studios, the legendary home of the Carry-Ons.
It'll be the making of the production.
Poppycock, the play is the thing.
At the box office, Carry On Teacher was a modest hit.
Hi, Sarah. Do you think I might possibly have another cup?
Not the biggest of the series, but certainly a successful early entry.
Trouble's over, eh?
Critics at the time praised the performances, especially Ted Ray's warm, understated lead.
Let me put you both straight on that score. I don't like caning, ever, except as a last resort.
While some reviewers sniffed at the film's simplicity, many recognised its charm, and it's aged remarkably well compared to some of its more risque successors.
33.
Go on in. Muck about with it.
What makes Carry On Teacher endure isn't just the laughs, it's the heart. Sure, you've got pratfalls, mistaken identities, and lots of chalk dust.
That's right. Put your leg up.
But beneath it all is a story about the bonds between teachers and students,
We're always being told to plan ahead.
It won't work, Haig.
about loyalty, and about the impact one person can have on the lives of many.
All right, now this is the biggest operation so far. Now make it good, that's all.
And yes, it's a comedy, but at its core, Carry On Teacher is really a love letter to those unsung heroes of the classroom.
You'll find, as I always do, that Shakespeare has such an ennobling effect on the young mind.
The ones who stay behind long after the bell rings. So, if you've never seen this early Carry On classic, it's well worth your time. It's sharp, sweet, and far more innocent than the bawdy reputation the series later earned.
Well?
Could we possibly be mistaken, all of us?
It's a film that reminds us school isn't just about tests and timetables. It's about people, relationships, and those unforgettable moments that shape who we become. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more trips down cinema's memory lane. And if you're a fan of Carry On, let us know your favourite film in the series in the comments. See you next time. And remember, always check the staff room before eavesdropping. You never know what you'll overhear.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we've experienced a slight technical... It's Mr. Wakefield!